I truly, truly never shut up. Hi! Hey! Hi! It's me, your boy. And I'm talking about my writing again. So, the last video I did about my writing was introducing you to my newest project, which is titled Project Farscape. And it's been a week of writing. Quite possibly the best writing week I ever had in my life. I don't know where all of these words are coming from. They just bleh, and then they are there, and my brain is just, I don't know. Something happened, and now I am even more of an Alexander Hamilton than I was before. I'm not complaining, I'm just wondering. So I had multiple days where I just wrote over 2,000 words. I even had a couple where I was like, oh yeah, just casually dishing out 5,000 words, and I'm like, I had one 5k day in my life before. That was during NaNoWriMo, I think 3 years ago, 2 years or 3 years ago. I finished NaNoWriMo with a 5k day. My friend was sitting next to me and I was like, yeah, I just casually won NaNoWriMo, and she's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, it happened. So having multiple great writing days like that in a row?
How exactly is having weapons at maximum going to help the situation?
The audience isn't going to know the difference. They love weapons at maximum.
So yeah, right now I am at 21,698 words in this project. We are 10 chapters deep. I am about to finish part 1 of this story. The whole book is going to be in 3 parts. First part being the one where we meet the crew, where we assemble everyone, where we put everyone on the ship and then figure out some character dynamics before we head off into the danger zone, aptly named the Abyssal Expanse, and start our treasure hunting shenanigans, right? I'm baffled by the amount of writing I'm doing. I'm also doing something new, which I haven't done in any project before. I have this from Kate Kavanaugh. She said a while ago in one of her videos that she is now journaling about her writing, and me being an avid journaler, I said, yes, why not do that? Usually I complain about my writing in my normal day-to-day journal about myself, but I thought, having a dedicated journal to a singular project would kind of be cool. Like just having a little thing that you can look back on after you wrote. That would be actually kind of cool, like seeing where my thoughts went with certain things. So I have a journal for this project. It's just a blah kind of journal, but it fulfills its purpose. It's fulfilling a purpose, and it's doing so really great. Also, I can just smack in my cute little galaxy themed washi tape. What more do I need than galaxy shaped washi tape? Also, I can show this on camera because there are no deep, vulnerable thoughts in here. It's just the absolute madness of what my brain comes up with when thinking about things that are not our reality. So yeah, I date my entries, but I also put in what chapter my thoughts are about. So each paragraph is like one chapter in my brain. For example, you can see like the madness. You can see I have chapter 4 right here. And then I have the new chapter 4 because I already split things. You can also read this because I'm not afraid of spoilers. This is absolute fucking bullshit. Like, I have never written a first draft this fast. I have also never bullshitted as much in the first draft before in my life. I don't know how it happened. I don't know why it happened with this one specifically. Oh my god. But my inner critic and me, we are friends for this one. Somehow, my inner critic and I both sat down, looked at this, and were like, yeah, that's bullshit. We can fix that later. For the first time in my life, my inner critic shut up. I can literally just write this. We are both having fun, laughing at this pile of flaming shit. It's hilarious! I love it! I want more of that. So yeah, of these 21,000 words, I don't know how many will make it into the next draft, let alone the final draft.
Never underestimate your audience. They're generally sensitive, intelligent people who respond positively to quality entertainment.
It's so bad, and yet it is so good. I'm really enjoying what I'm doing with this. So because I'm me and I want to ramble a bit more, I'm going to tell you about my character. Act 1, the first part 1 of this book, is introducing the characters to the reader and building the whole story around them. Given that I want this to be very heavy on the found family thingamathing thing, I need to have strong characters. Are they strong? Well, one of them is. He's the strong boy. But yeah, let me tell you about our crew members. So first of all, we have Callan. Callan is a very skittish engineer with anxiety issues, but he's also too stubborn to give up. So he's basically me, sans the engineering part. He is also low-key our pilot, but only because he is the one who accidentally bonded with the ship. Her name is Vale. I love her. And Vale is just this giant-ass ancient living ship. And she's just like chilling in the universe, and Callan is chilling in the universe. Problem being, Callan is a human, so he is not meant to bond with a ship like Vale. Like, he's literally physically incapable of sustaining this bond due to some energy shenanigans. Nah. So Vale is constantly falling apart because she's a very old, very ancient ship, and she doesn't have her full capacity. Like, for example, her weapons just don't work.
I do not understand why everything in this script must inevitably explode.
Her shields are very limited. Her navigational systems are all screwed up. Her sensor range is reduced. Like, she's basically nerfed to oblivion. And that means her age is showing, and a lot of her systems are faulty and break apart, and she can't heal herself the way she should be able to do. And Callan, being the skittish engineer that he is, he's trying his best to fix her up with whatever he has laying around. Like, he's doing a very good job for the circumstances he's in. But at the same time, because of his bond with Vale, he experiences some physical issues. Like, he has constant headaches and migraines. He has nosebleeds every other day. He is exhausted after the slightest bit of stress. He's not doing so hot. So that's where the story starts, with Callan and Vale. And then they accidentally stumble upon Leora. Leora is the daughter of a aristocratic diplomacy family, you know, rich bitches from the core worlds, and her parents really want her to be a diplomatic asset. And she's like, yeah, but I want to have my own freedom. I want to do whatever the fuck I want to do. So at one point she just runs away, but given that she's trained in diplomacy and not so much in space travel, she runs out of fuel and just happens to stumble upon Callan and Vale, who take her in, and she's like, can you please drop me off at the next, like, space station or planet? Thank you! And Callan's like, yeah, whatever. And Vale has an opinion. Vale is like, what if we keep her? Because you kind of need a friend. Humans are social beings. So the ship is basically inviting a friend for Callan. So Leora hangs out with them, and then through some stupid coincidences, I wonder how that happened, Leora finds out about the bond, and that Callan isn't doing so hot, and that Callan is trying to find ancient artifacts that might help with this bond situation he's finding himself in. And Leora is like, well, I only wanted to get to the next space station so I can have a wonderful adventure in space, so what if I stick around and have that wonderful adventure in space with you? So Callan's like, yeah, well, whatever, and Leora stays with him. So that's how we find character number 2, character number 3 actually, and because these two are a skittish, anxious engineer and a completely naive and oblivious diplomat, we need another character to survive whatever's coming for us. We have hints that there is an artifact that we can get, and we have a set of coordinates that will get us there, but we kind of need someone who can punch people in the face if it comes to it. So Leora knows a guy because of course he does. And we go to a spaceport in the Outer Rim where we meet Rex, our strong boy.
Indeed.
To PI, coming this fall.
Rex is a mercenary / space pirate hunter. I don't know. And we meet him first in a bar brawl, because of course we do. And he's very skeptic about two random ass kids being like, hey, we need your help. We can pay you. And he's like, what? Okay. They said they can pay him, so he's going with them. So we have to make a little detour to grab Rex's stuff, and Rex's stuff is carried by Hooch. And Hooch is the bestest boy. Hooch is a pandoir, which is a word I made up. It is a combination of panda bear and jaguar, and you mix them together and you get a pandoir. And that is literally what I was going for. He's basically a giant teddy bear / jaguar. He has the character of a lovesick puppy, the size of a bear, and the claws and teeth of a jaguar. He is 90% fur, 10% muscle, but he is also 90% muscle and 10% fur. He is a cinnamon roll that will definitely kill and eat you if you even think about hurting the people he loves. So that's how we meet Rex and Hooch. Rex and Hooch join Callan, Liara, and Vale, and they go on the ship, and Callan and Liara show Rex the coordinates, and Rex is like, that's the Abyssal Expanse. If you want to go there, you need defense systems, you need offense systems, and you need a crew that is bigger than just 2 people. And Callan is like, oh, I need more people on my ship. And Liara is like, but where do we find these people? And Rex is like, I know a guy! Because of course. So then we fly to this other planet that is completely irrelevant, but I build it anyways. And we meet 2 more characters. One is Dr. Selena Marquez, and she worked with Rex before on a paid job. She is an exoarchaeologist, and she knows a thing or two about ancient cultures, but the resident expert on the alien technology that Vale is Oren. And Oren is a little blue alien. Well, technically, they are a tall blue alien. Think Slender Man, but with 4 eyes that are somewhat bug-like. Oren also glows in the dark. And yeah, I basically crossed the Na'vi from James Cameron's Avatar with the Slender Man and sprinkled some insect into it. But technically, Oren is a plant-based alien. And I also shoved some Vulcan into the whole thing.
Piece of advice. If you're gonna rip something off, think of something a little more obscure.
Oh. But yeah, I love Oren. Oren is the biggest nerd ever! And they are the resident expert on the whole technology thing, and especially on the history and culture of these ancient aliens, which is important because we are looking for an ancient artifact. So we need a Indiana Jones-esque character, or at least someone who has the required knowledge. Think Daniel Jackson from Stargate. So Oren is info dumping on all this technology, and Rex is just sitting there having a drink with Selena, and they reminisce about old times, and Callan, Liara, and Oren are nerding out. And then at the end of the day, everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm tired, I want to go to bed. And Selena's like, yeah, you can sleep here at our outpost, it's fine. And Oren is like, but can I maybe see the cool ancient ship from the culture that I have a hyperfixation on? Pretty please? And Callan's like, fine. And they all go back to the ship, and Oren's like, oh my god, this is the greatest day ever, I'm in Disneyland. And then Oren just stays, because everyone agrees having the local historian on board is what they need to do.
Wow, I don't think anyone will see that coming.
Nope, there'll be spoilers.
Are you kidding? It'll be in the commercial.
And there you have it. That is how we have our crew. We have Vale the ship, Callan the engineer / pilot, Liara the heart of the crew, the diplomatic asset. We have Rex the strong boy for bonking people on the head, and Oren for the nerd stuff. I just wrote all of the chapters to introduce all of these characters and all of their relationship. It's a very easy formula I'm following. Like, I have one chapter introducing the character, I have another chapter that dives into the character relationship, and then I have another chapter maybe in between that helps them getting from A to B. Again, I'm mostly bullshitting my way through this first draft, but we already had some very interesting character dynamic developments that I'm swooning over. Rex and Oren, if they don't end up in a relationship by the end of this book, I probably did something wrong. I didn't want to go for a relationship in this book necessarily, but the way these two characters interact, there might be something, or at least a seed for something. I don't know.
Call me Farbot, but they're gonna have our move-ons on a platter if we don't. Starburst the dries out of here.
And yeah, the sibling energy between Liara and Kellen is also very strong. The bond between Vale and Kellen is already near and dear to my heart. I do still have to work on the relationship between Liara and Oren and the relationship between Kellen and Oren. That's a bit underdeveloped, but mostly because I had to deliver some exposition about the ancient aliens first and foremost. So they were just nerding out, and now I need to interject some emotion into this nerding out, which will happen because I need Calvin to suffer a bit more. So he's probably going to have a little health crisis in order to hammer home why they need to do this quest. That it's not just, ah, cool, we found this ancient ship, that's nice. Or, ooh, there is some money in this for me, that's nice. Like, I'm going to play around with a couple of emotions now, and I will see where this leads me. I don't know where this is going to go. Well, it's going into the abyssal expanse, into very dangerous territory in space, but... So yeah, that's my first writing update of this thing of Project Farscape. I'm very interested in seeing where my brain takes this thing. I don't know. I have fun writing this thing. I have so much fun writing this thing, man. But yeah, if you made it until this point in the video, leave me an alien emoji in the comments, and I see you in the next video. Bye!